I'm back again with another video. We're talking about this American Indian, American Indian. Hey, Mike, subscribe to Mike TV.
And some content over there as well. So go ahead and subscribe to me on TikTok if you do have a TikTok account. Throw five on the Cash App or the PayPal if you support the mission. But without further ado, let's get into the content.
Deeper because both of you talked about in terms of the intro, and I think I might have mentioned it also, that you're both black and native. So let's talk a little bit about what that was like for you in both cultures, and being both a black woman and a native woman, and what did you have to encounter in both spaces in terms of like learning your identity and knowing who you are, and what do you even deal with today in terms of sort of representing yourself?
And shout out to QC. It's always nice to hear from a new subscriber. I'm glad that you find value in the content. Welcome aboard.
Growing up for me, my mother, as a single mother, she strived so hard to make sure not only did I know my culture as a Native woman, as a Lakota, but also as a Black woman. And she also made sure I learned U.S. Black history, but as well as African history, and as well as the African presence in all of the world, and as well as the indigenous presence of all over the world. And she made sure that I was around the Maori growing up. I have an African name, which is Fafuta. I have. She made sure that in our teaching is the directions of people, and we say matakiaki, or sometimes say matakiake, which means we are all related, or all my relations. That's the foundation of many Native American spirituality, which is we're all related in some way, shape, or form. We're all connected to that one creator. And so with that, that was the foundation in my home. Today, and may God be pleased with my mother, she passed away in 2003 of full-blown lung cancer. But today, I'm in the position that God has put me in on this beautiful platform to be able to represent being Black and being Native. I have noticed so many people that are of two, whether they are Mexican and white, or whatever mix they are, they were denied to represent one or the other. In our history was paper genocide. Of you had to either pick Black or white or colored, or white or other. And a lot of people was not able to represent their culture. I am here today because my ancestors were denied to represent their culture. And yes, I dealt with racism on both sides. Growing up,
Hey, let's take it a step further. When it comes to Native Black Americans or Black American Indians, there's two different types. There's those that come from Black indigenous folks, and there's those that descend from Africans that were transported here as slaves and then fled the plantation and intermarried and was adopted into indigenous tribes. So we do have to draw the distinction, but as far as the stolen identity, I mean, it runs deep. Guys, in certain states, they even reclassified Native Americans as Negroes and other slaves and put them on the plantation. So tell me they weren't copper-colored individuals for you to be able to mislabel them as Negroes and slaves from Africa. Let's talk about it.
Black girls used to pull my hair, or I was teased because they would say I was adopted, or boys used to say, "How come you don't look like your mother? Because I would date you because you're so dark." I dealt with it in the Native side when I would go to powwows and I'm feeling great in my fancy shawl and ready to dance and to get that nigger off the powwow grounds. So I've dealt with it on both sides, but I thank God for my grandfather, the Honorable Minister was Farrakhan, who taught me of who our common enemy is. And is the root of it is evil, and the root of it is colonization and supremacy and privilege.
Yeah, let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about the supremacy, the xenophobia, the privilege. Just because I'm a member of the Muskegee Creek Nation, That don't mean I'm all up at the powwows, all one with all my fellow tribal members. I ain't met most of the motherfuckers. You feel me? For all I know, they ain't on the same type of vibe I am. They don't pass the vibe check, if you will. So just like we have xenophobic, racist Black Americans, we have xenophobic, racist Native Americans, we have xenophobic, racist European Americans, and the list goes on and on and on. And I have heard of some stories of Black natives that grew up on the reservation, and they do say a lot of those pale-skinned natives do treat them differently. So, you know, that is something that definitely needs to be addressed. But let's keep on with the content, y'all. Let's keep on with the content. They say us Black natives don't even exist at all. Come on, now. We pretendians, we wobbles. Well, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into some Aboriginal history.
Just unify. We don't even know the power that we have, our communities have.
Oh, and shout out to Jay Hawk. Jay says, hello, Mike, new subscriber here. Love your content, Native, Cherokee, and Black. Well, shout out to Jay. And Jay, let me know, when you say you're Native, Cherokee, and Black, are you saying that you're a member of the tribe, that you trace your genealogy? And the only reason I asked that is because we watched a goddamn it, I damn near want to call it a sermon. It was so much good information. But we watched a lecture earlier in the week from a professor of Native and Black Studies in North Carolina, and he said that actually a lot of Iroquois mislabeled themselves Cherokee because the Cherokee at one point in time, since they always beat with the Iroquois, apparently the Cherokee went and were massacring all the Iroquois. So a lot of Iroquois started lying and saying that they were Cherokee. So apparently a lot of Black Americans on the East Coast claim they're Cherokee, and some of it isn't, you know, them actually doing the genealogy research. Some of it is them just, you know, passing on the history that stems in some cases from folks just trying to survive. So they claimed a tribe that they actually weren't a part of. Yeah, the more that we dive into this Native Black American history, the more we realize how nuanced history is.
The relationship, the complex relationship between Black people and Indigenous people.
You know, there is this relationship between indigenous people meet original people. The indigenous people of Africa, the original people of Africa, the indigenous people of Turtle Island, which is Canada, North America, and South America. And there is a long, long history of the unification and the relationship of the Black and Native community.
And shout out to Jay. Jay says, I trace my family history, have documents and photos from my family historian. So Black American and Cherokee, sir. Well, shout out to a brother who did his paperwork, y'all. I advise everybody.
So that lets you know, Black and Africans are not the same people. That lets you know that. All right? We're similar, but we're not the same. All right? Let me say it one more time. We are similar, but we're not the same people. All right? Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe with the thumbs up and click that bell. I'll catch you in another video.